Sports. We are Black We are MC.
Royals baseball from home sweet home. It was a long road trip, 9 games, 10 days, and now back at Kauffman Stadium for a 6-game homestand beginning with the Seattle Mariners. Hi everyone, welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery are coming up. Well, we should be used to this by now. This team will get hot at times, they will get cold at times. First of all, it was a winning road trip. Maybe it doesn't feel that way after losing the last 3 games in Baltimore.
Yeah, you know, baseball is streaky. We all know that. And this team could be a little bit of streaky. But look, it's all about when you're in the down times, when you're in the low part, to stay positive. Ned does a good job of keeping his dauber up and keeping his team up. Now, the home cooking's great. We know exactly what they want to do here. And that's get back in the win column against a team that's really chasing them.
And the Royals have been playing really well at home. They've won their last 5 here, averaging almost 8 runs per game.
It's been fun to watch, too, and to come from behind victories. Just remember, how about that wrist, that 415 runners in scoring position average? That means frenzy hitting right around the corner.
And, of course, it's not just hitting. Trevor Cahill will take the mound tonight, making his Kauffman Stadium debut as a Royal. Is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all, for less. Trevor Cahill will start for the Royals tonight, his first start at Kauffman Stadium as a member of the Royals. He did not have a great start in Boston, but I would imagine we have to factor in the human part of it. You get traded to a new team. It's kind of a whirlwind I'll bet he'll feel more like he's got his feet underneath him tonight.
Oh, for sure. Fenway Park, that's an intimidating place to pitch. One thing I liked about Cahill in that outing, now sure he didn't eat up any innings, 90 pitches, that's a little bit much for what I like the movement on his pitches. He's got it right there. There's just no question about it. He's going to have to stay out of the middle of the plate, and he'll make his first home start. I'm sure the home cooking will be good for him. But look, he showed some athleticism. He's able to execute some pitches and get some ground balls. Pitch to this defense with that sinker, and he's going to win.
He comes from a pitcher-friendly ballpark in San Diego, our Toyota League leaders, and in his 4 starts at home in San Diego, his ERA was 0.72, similar ballpark in Kansas City.
That's right. Talking to those guys before the game, they can't wait to get here and pitch in front of their home crowd here. Cahill, I'm expecting big things from him.
If the season ended today, the Royals would have the 2nd wild card spot in the American League. The team right behind them, the Seattle Mariners. You know, the Royals swept the Orioles in May. They just paid the Royals back in Baltimore. The Royals swept the Mariners in early July. So, you know, they've got payback on their mind. Royals took 3 in a row, those leading up to the All-Star break, and now here comes Seattle. They've won 13 of their last 20 games.
Watch out, they've got some offense. You see Gerard Dyson mixed in there with Segura, Gamble, Cano, Cruz, Seager. They've got some players, and they're hot, and believe me, they are just a few games behind the Royals in the wild card. They're looking to do some damage here at the K. After being swept, believe it, but still, the Royals have a lot to go, and they've got 1 game to win. That's tonight.
Joel and Monty are coming up, and Monty will share his thoughts on Royals starter Trevor Cahill.
Cahill throws his first ever pitch as a home player here at Kauffman Stadium. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery back at the K. And Cahill has a 0.72 home ERA this year. That was all at Petco Park. Now he moves over to Kauffman, and we heard Hud say a lot of movement on the pitches, but how does he turn that into a good thing?
Well, I think the biggest thing, when you have 4 quality pitches, you want to get in situations where you can allow those pitches to work. And oftentimes, it's not just missing bats, it's actually trying to hit bats with those quality pitches, because you've done a good job in disrupting timing. You're going to hit the bottom half of the bat. You're going to see a lot of ground balls from Trevor Cahill when he's on. Hopefully tonight, he's going to be able to really allow this defense to show itself and do a good job for him.
Well, he has only ever had 2 starts here at the K. His last one was in 2010, so it's been a while. And interesting that the last time he faced the Mariners, which was also a bunch of years ago, Jason Vargas was the opposing pitcher. Tonight, he'll need to go against Gerard Dyson and the Seattle Mariners. First pitch coming up. Ryan and Hud are back after this.
Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by the Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest lasting, full-size pickup on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. 77 degrees, and this is going to be the warm night during this homestand. We're going to have high temperatures in the 70s coming up over the weekend.
Wow, I need a
for
jacket.
early August. Whoa. Trevor Cahill making his Kauffman Stadium debut as a Royal. He has made 2 prior starts here, pitching with the Oakland A's, and the last one was September of 2010. So it's been a long time for him. And it's also been a while since he's faced the Seattle Mariners. You got to go back to 2012.
Yeah, but he knows what his job is. That's to eliminate most foul balls and 3-2 counts and keep the pitch count down with a fastball curve, change and slider. He's a sinker ball artist. Showed some good movement up at Fenway Park against the Red Sox.
Here's the Mariners lineup, which will feature Gerard Dyson batting 7th, and he got a nice ovation just when they were announcing the starting lineups before the game tonight. Big bats in the middle Robinson Cano and Nelson Cruz, both among the league leaders in RBIs, and for Cruz, leading the American League in RBIs with 80. Cahill misses up and away, ball one.
Yeah, you know, when the Royals caught the Mariners in Seattle, when they swept them, it seemed like the offense was just a little flat, but this team overall, the numbers are really good. They can hit the ball. This kid Gamble here, he's been a big surprise this year, using the whole field. Has some pop, but you know, going gap to gap, hitting it where it's pitched, got a good level swing.
Two balls and one strike. Trevor Cahill had really 4 high stress innings on Saturday at Boston. A lot of 3 and 2 counts. 5 to be exact. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you know, he wasn't able to control the movement he was getting on his pitches. I mean, I was impressed with what he was getting, the sinkers and sliders, and everything was moving, but he couldn't control it.
Curveball, that's been a big pitch for him this year, and he underhands to Hosmer for the out.
Forward around the horn, Royals defense. Melky Cabrera is no stranger out here at the K. Now, he plays mainly left field in a lot of those starts, but still, that's a lot. 122 career starts. Melky's been very accurate with his arm as well. He's got 8 outfield assists. Excuse me, 9. I cut him short 1.
Gene Segura with 1 out. And that's hit into the crowd off the right field line. Another Mariners hitter among the league leaders in batting average. At .319 is 5th best. After leading the National League last year in hits with over 200 playing for the Diamondbacks, and he fouled that one right off of Salvi's mask.
Just showed you he can bunt, he runs well, but what's been impressive about him is the ability to go right back up the middle. He uses the middle of the field. Tries to stay in the middle. Usually anybody that hits for a high average is using the whole field. Salvi's checking his mask and making sure everything's in order. You don't get many foul ball tips on your mask, but it's all the same. Cahill.
Hosmer will take this one himself. 2 ground ball outs.
And that's what he does. When his pitches are working down in the zone, they're going to hit a lot of the top. It's not overpowering. He's going to average 90 miles an hour on his fastball, but that's plenty good enough if you're locating properly. But you can see the ground ball rate there. That's 10th best in Major League among starters. He's good. And when you have a defense that's behind him like that, that's the #1 team in fielding percentage in baseball, that's a good combination.
Robinson Cano with 2 down. Taking all the way, and strike 1. In sweeping the Mariners in early July, Robinson Cano was 1 for 13 without an RBI. Late movement and a little bit high. 1-1.
That's key. When you can keep him down in a series like that, oh my gosh, that's excellent. He's a guy, he'll pull the ball, but he'll go the other way. He's a real professional hitter.
Stayed back on a changeup, and Kane races back, takes care of Cano. The Mariners are down 1-2-3. With Merrifield, Lorenzo Cain, and Melky Cabrera in his return to Kauffman Stadium with a Royals uniform on again. crazy. Last homestand that carried into Detroit, it carried into Boston, and you figure of all places, Camden Yards, the offense would just continue to roll along, but the Royals scored a total of 3 runs in that series at Camden Yards, batting just 161 as a team and not hitting a home run. So that sets up busting out tonight against Giovanni Gallardo, who has a 5.34 ERA, and he's given up 14 home runs in 97 innings.
He has 9 home runs to right-handed hitters and 5 to left-handers. Fastball, slider, curve change. 290 average off the fastball. 311 on the slider. That means it's flat and hanging up there. But I tell you what, he's been rejuvenated. He had 4 appearances out of the bullpen. Velocity came up, got his confidence back, and now he's back in the rotation. Oh, veteran pitcher. Parts of 11 major league seasons. He knows how to pitch.
Witt hit .302 on the road trip with a home run and 5 driven in.
You know, and if we learned anything about the numbers from pitchers, as we try to show you before the game, that's the track record and what they've done so far. But it has nothing to do with what's going to happen tonight. There's no way the Royals figured that the 3 pitchers that faced them in Baltimore was going to have their best starts of the season against them. You just never know.
Curveball that hung, and Gamble will make the play in right field. 1 down.
All right, Mariners defense. Gerard Dyson, he leads Major League Baseball with 10 outfield assists. We know he's got a good arm. I saw him throw somebody out at third base the other day in a 1-hop pick and tag. It was a really nice throw. He's been very accurate, and he knows the confines here very well. Shown his arm time and time again. 46 career.
He does not have the ace 30 patch like the Royals do on their uniform, so his tribute is by way of a Sharpie on his cap to Yordano Ventura,
Which is good.
breaking balls a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lorenzo Cain, who did not play last night in Baltimore. Otherwise a good road trip. 343 with 9 runs scored, and batting second since the arrival of Melky Cabrera. That is slash foul, and it's 1-2. Interesting, Gallardo, who's been around for a long time, he's 31 years old. He takes a trip to the bullpen, he finds some success, and now pitching out of the stretch as a starter again. We're seeing more and more of that. Segura charges in from short and gets Cain 2 down. Well, if the season ended today, the Royals would have the 2nd wild card spot, and the game would be played at Yankee Stadium. Royals have a half-game lead over Tampa Bay and a game-and-a-half lead against Scott Service and the Seattle Mariners, who've been playing a lot better. They were on their way to rock bottom after the Royals swept them in Seattle right before the All-Star break. Melky takes a strike. They had fallen to 5 games under 500 on July 8th, and now Seattle has won 13 of their last 20.
They're rolling.
1-1 on Melky. 2 for 10 with a double and a run scored in the Baltimore series. Curveball makes it 1-2. Giovanni Gallardo had some big seasons with the Milwaukee Brewers. When he left the Brewers, he was their all-time strikeout leader. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 7 consecutive seasons where he had at least 30 starts. He was an all-star for the Brewers in 2010. And when he was first called up to the Milwaukee Brewers, his manager was Ned Yost. Up the first base line. Tough play for Gallardo, and he throws it away.
I like how home plate umpire Larry Vanover was right on that to see if Melky was on the left side of the running lane. Vanover was all over it. No call. It's base hit all the way. Service is coming out now, the manager for the Mariners, and most managers are on a play like this. Watch Melky, though. He's been around long enough. Got to stay on the line or to the right.
That's
close.
tough.
It
Yeah.
was close. But Vanover watched. I saw Vanover. He followed Melky, and he was looking right at him the whole way just to make sure that he was in really good positioning. So Vanover was there. Melky now with his 10th infield hit. So he's on that line. You can see almost that left foot is on the other side.
When he was hit, his foot was in between the two lines.
Yeah, no, it's going to stand. I like it. Good job by Vanover.
Runner at first, 2 down, and now Eric Hosmer, who has an 8-game hitting streak. He had 9 RBIs during the road trip. Down and in, ball 1.
He's raking just right under lava hot during the streak. Beautiful. Using the whole field.
Foul tip, 1-1.
Just 1 for 5 off of Gallardo in his career. Pretty much left side wide open. Seager now's moving. Third baseman playing shortstop. Now he's moving towards second base. Haas knows all about that. Those lanes over there. Especially with 2 strikes, he'll use them. He'll take those pitches to the opposite field. Didn't that time.
Valencia to the bag unassisted, so Cabrera is stranded, and at the end of 1, no score. A long road trip. The Royals and Mariners will play 4, and the Cardinals will be here next Monday and Tuesday, and then the Royals will hit the road again for 8 days to St. Louis, Chicago, and Oakland. Nelson Cruz with nobody on, and that's a good thing. He has driven in 80. That leads the American League and is tied for 4th in the major leagues. And he chops it out to Moustakas, who is back at third base tonight. 1 pitch, 1 away for Trevor Cahill.
He's got to be feeling a little bit better now. That day off helped him yesterday, half a day anyway, off of defense.
That'll bring up Kyle Seager. We were talking about how Robinson Cano was really quiet at the plate when the Royals swept the Mariners in Seattle. Kyle Seager was 0 for 7 and did not have an RBI. But he's been swinging the bat much better and had a 9-game hitting streak come to an end last night in Texas.
Strong pull hitter. Looks to pull, especially where he's hits in his home games at Safeco. Short porch and right. He takes advantage of it.
Royals play him accordingly with Witt out in shallow right field.
Yeah, Witt's waiting on him right there.
1-2. It's early, but 3 of Cahill's 4 outs have been on the ground. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Royals did a nice job holding Seager down in that series at home as well. They swept him up there at Safeco. Good job. Him, Cano, that's the meat of their order.
He pulls it into the right field corner and into the crowd for a home run. That is number 15 for Kyle Seager, and Seattle takes a 1-0 lead.
Anything soft in there, that's what he's looking to do, and he did it. Just hooked the pole. Change up. That change up's got to be down, not floating in there. That's a good pitch to hit hard, and he got up underneath it just right.
Upstairs to Danny Valencia. That was just the 7th home run allowed by Trevor Cahill in 62 innings.
And the 3rd off of that changeup. Changeups that are elevated, that are anywhere over the plate, it doesn't matter outside, inside. If they're up, hitters, they recognize those, and it kind of speeds their bat up, and they get to them.
Take nothing away from Seager, but the wind is blowing out to right. That will explain the weather that we have now in early August with the cool temperatures, that wind coming out of the northwest. 3-1 on Valencia. 76 tomorrow for a high, 72 on Saturday, 74 on Sunday. And Valencia's on with a 1-out walk.
Batting 7, the center fielder, number 1, Gerard Dyson.
Well, you can read about how much the fans miss you. You can hear about how much the fans miss you. But something like that will really make it hit home.
Sure will. Very special. Not surprised. Knew the Royals fans taking care of one of their own.
Foul off the left field line, caught by the Royals ball boy.
Let it go, Rich.
'50th round pick in 2006, a round that no longer exists in the draft, and scored the winning run in Game 5 of the 2015 World Series. And he gets it through the right side. Valencia will stop at second base. That's Dyson's first hit against the Royals. He was 0 for 6 in the series last month, and Seattle has 2 on with 1 out.
Up 92, center cut middle. Got on top of it. You can see how that ball with that topspin, it hit once in the infield and just took off. Whitley had no chance.
Guillermo Heredia playing in left field.
Good speed, gap to gap type hitter. Can run. Plays an excellent center field.
Good movement, 0-1. Curveball stayed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Radia's getting an opportunity as another good young Mariners player is on the disabled list right now. Mitch Haniger. Salvi, backhand stop, play at second base. Valencia is caught in a rundown. Dyson will advance to second. Runner at second, 2 down.
Man, look at Valencia. Look what is he doing? He was way off guard. He knows Salvador Perez possesses one of the best throwing arms there are. So I'm surprised that he was caught off like that. Thank you. Cahill will take the second out there.
Two and 1 on Heredia. Mitch Haniger had a scary injury the other day. University of Kansas Health System injury report update. Hit on the face against Jacob Degrom, the hard-throwing right-hander for the Mets. A facial laceration put him on the disabled list. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Haniger was playing well for Seattle. Got off to a really good start. Had tailed off recently, and so he's down. He's lucky it wasn't worse than that. When you get hit in the face with a big league fastball, that you walk away with a lip laceration. That's not bad, all things considered.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen a guy foul a ball off like that. Off himself.
Kyle Seager homers into the right field corner, and Seattle takes a 1-0 lead.
Great pitch there.
has his first hit. We'll see if there's a stolen base or not. Joel Goldberg down by the Royals dugout. When we were in Seattle, Dyson told Jeff Montgomery and I that he'd wait to do most of his running on Salvador Perez till he got in front of the Kauffman Stadium fans. He might have had a little bit of a leg issue that he wasn't letting on to. Did have one stolen base, and that we'll see if anything develops here. But as Ned Yost predicted, it'd be a big ovation from the crowd. That happened. Eric Hosmer called him the heart and soul of the Royals when he was here. And guys, just had his 200th stolen base the other day. 176 of them came with the Royals. Thought it was very interesting when he got to first base, chatting up nonstop with his spring training roommate for many years and still to this day, Eric Hosmer, until Danny Valencia looked over and gave him the big shush signal. Then, of course, things went well for the Royals. But you know Gerard Dyson wants to have fun out here in front of the fans that adored him for so long.
Those 176 stolen bases as a Royal, 6th in franchise history, which is pretty special when you consider he was not an everyday player when he was here. He made the most of his opportunities as a part-time player.
Sure did. I don't remember him wearing a mouthpiece. That's something new.
Heredia waits in left field and makes a play on Salvador Perez, 1 down.
But the energy that Dyson brought was amazing, and they all knew, the opponents knew he was on the other side, and whenever it came a situation where he was to come in and run, that's an instant boost on energy for the team. Confidence. He brought a lot. Remember when Alex Gordon got hurt and he made that play the next day, that great Willie Mays type catch out there in left field? He could play some dynamic outfield at times. Too bad that's not the ball.
2 down. Last year, he was going to get a lot of playing time in right field, and the Royals talked about him getting a chance to play every day in right, but on his first swing in spring training, he hurt his right oblique. Started the season on the disabled list, and when he was out is when Paulo Orlando really started to play well. So it really didn't turn out to be an everyday situation for Dyson last year, but Seattle has given him that opportunity this year. Breaking ball, strike 2, Brandon Moss. That's Cano, the second baseman. And with just 7 pitches, Gallardo hits the Royals in the bottom of the second. Weishauer has served as the Clay County trustee on the Mid-Continent Public Library Board, ensuring that the library only use taxpayer resources wisely and efficiently. In addition to his work with the library, Marvin has served as the president of the Liberty Chamber of Commerce, treasurer for SCORE, Small Business Mentoring, and was the founding director of Habitat for Humanity Northland. And Marvin is sitting in the Buck O'Neil legacy seat at tonight's game.
Thank you, Marvin.
Mike Zunino, 16 home runs with a .225 batting average. 1 ball and 1 strike. He has already struck out 106 times in 249 at-bats.
He's not going to get cheated. And he's a big, strong catcher. If he gets a hold of them, they go.
Two and two.
Keep the sinker down on him. You can get him to roll over to the left side. He's got to keep everything down.
Cahill hung a changeup to Kyle Seager, who homered in the 2nd inning. And there's a changeup to strike out Zunino. Cahill has his 2nd strikeout tonight, both with his change.
That's where he wants it. If he puts it right there on Seager, Seager would have swung and missed. Instead, he hit it out.
Now ball 1 on Ben Gamel, Mariners leadoff hitter, grounded back to Cahill in the 1st inning. Curveball for a strike. That has been an effective pitch for Cahill this year. This has been a big strikeout season for Trevor Cahill, who never really was a big strikeout pitcher. 2 balls and 1 strike. That's a little rare. It seems like the older a pitcher gets, the more they become a contact type pitcher.
Yep.
Usually the strikeouts come early and fade away late, but his strikeouts have spiked this year. And 1 hop to Moustakas, who is playing in. He gets a big hop. Gamel is out, number 2. The Sweet Life with Salvi. Enter to win at Royals.com/Salvi for a private meet and greet with Salvador Perez. You'll attend batting practice and get an exclusive VIP suite experience at the game on September 28th. That's compliments of Price Chopper. Curveball is high to Gene Segura. That's a game against the Detroit Tigers during the final homestand of the year. Sinker is low. It always seems like when you're talking about a pitcher who throws a good sinker slider, he's a sinker slider guy, right? It's pretty rare to see a sinker curveball guy.
Yeah, and you know that does a lot to mess up the batter's eye level. Sinker slider, you're thinking down, down, down. We want to elevate him up, 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 but then Cahill, you know, with the extra slider that he'll throw.
That'll be an error on Moustakas. That was a 3-0 pitch. Cahill got a ground ball to 3rd. Segura's on with 2 down.
Had a hard time with the separation. 7th error.
Robinson Cano lined out to deep center field in the 1st inning.
Plus, you know, you put that arm angle there. He's got a funky arm angle too. So I'm not surprised to see him piling up more strikeouts. The curve, change, slider. You know, it's like you said, he's not just a sinker slider guy. He's got a lot to offer. He's got some different angles.
Luke Hochevar, early in his career, was a sinker curveball guy. Jake Peavy comes to mind. The late Darryl Kyle was a sinker curveball guy. But it always seems like sinker and slider go hand in hand.
Segura has the second most steals on the team behind Dyson. He's got 13. Dyson's got 24.
Think he's going to run here with 2 outs and Robinson Cano at the plate?
I wouldn't. And Nelson Cruz to follow? No.
And Salvador Perez behind the plate. But there he goes. And the throw's a little high. Did he come off the bag? Second base umpire David Rackley says no.
Got a good jump. Had the throw been down by the bag, he would have been out. Throw a little bit high. Plenty of time. Look at him shuffle his feet, aim his left foot towards his target. He puts that throw down by about Escobar's knee, would have had him. Let's see as he goes past the bag. Did he stay on it? Escobar with a tag on him. Looked like he kept his left hand on it. 14th bag.
And now he takes off for third. And it's off of Salvi's glove. Okay.
Confident. Feeling it. Sometimes, you know, if you're a base stealer, you feel good. You just stole yourself a base and say, I'm going to rip the next one off too. It's a confident thing. I love it.
You want to read zipping around the bases though and distracting Robinson Cano at the plate?
No, because if I get thrown out by chance, I'm in the manager's doghouse.
Well, it didn't affect Cano. He takes a 4-pitch walk, putting 2 on for Nelson Cruz. One of Denny's favorite quotes, and he says it at least 50 times a year. Louis Tiant once said, "About baseball, you don't know nothing."
That's right.
So here we are laying out. Well, you don't want to run here with Cano at the plate and 2 outs and run yourself out of the inning. Well, about baseball, you don't know nothing.
That's right. There's a lot of truth to that.
.80 runs driven in for Nelson Cruz, and he takes a whack and he misses the first pitch from Cahill. He grounded out to third in the second inning. A 2 RBI lead over Jonathan Scope. We just saw him in Baltimore. And a 6 RBI lead over his teammate Robinson Cano, who's at first base. So a couple of gift runners for the Mariners here. And now tapped back to Cahill, who works around a walk and an error. And the Mariners strand 2 in the third inning.
plate, and man, oh man, do we hope he has a homestand like he had that last one. Wow, last 16 home games. Forget the last one, 16 of them. Look at that, 368, 8 extra base hits, 12 runs. Ribbies, he knocked him in, and he pulled his average way up from the depths. It was way down below 200, and he did it by using the whole field, finding the holes, and it looks like the old Escobar from the championship run. Hopefully he can keep that up and find the holes, get on base now. He's nobody out here. It's time to set the table up.
Gallardo throws a strike. Eske was just 1 for 10 in the Baltimore series. Foul outside of third, and it's 0-2. Escobar, Gordon, and Merrifield coming up. Gallardo has begun tonight, retiring 6 of the first 7, giving up an infield single to Melky Cabrera in the first. He had a 7-pitch 1-2-3 second inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. These two guys were teammates with the Brewers, Escobar and Gallardo. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Veteran pitcher gets sent out to the bullpen late in your career. That's usually a sign of, well, let's just put him out to pasture. That's what they used to do in the old days, when pitchers would go complete games all the time and they got washed up. They'd put him out in the bullpen. Not anymore, but you know, Gallardo, he took his advantage, or his opportunity, in 4 relief appearances and went out there. He got a save. He had a 0.79 earned run average, 8 strikeouts, and he built his confidence up. He was like, you know what, I want to get back in that rotation. The only way I'm going to is by throwing strikes and come out and commanding the fastball and attack it. His starts earlier, when he was starting, he was kind of nibbling on the corners. He was trying to do a little bit more pitching. Now he's throwing. Let's check out those numbers.
So that's why he went to the bullpen. He had a 9 ERA over a 6-start stretch, 4 appearances in the bullpen, and now 2 starts, 3.38.
He's attacking more. He's on the attack, trusting his stuff.
Full count.
Eske eyeballing. Still sitting on number 9 as far as walks go. He's looking for that 10th walk. He's been sitting on 9 for several weeks now. He's a hacker.
Cano slings it over to first base. 1 down. Don't forget, if you can't catch the game on TV, you can stream the game on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals, and that includes coming to a game here at Kauffman Stadium. Bring us with you. Ball 1 to Alex. Alex on Tuesday scored his 701st career run. He is now 6th in Royals history in runs scored, breaking a tie with Mike Sweeney. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's grinding. He's out there playing and coming in late last night or early in the morning today. These guys are going to bed. They're waking up and they feel some pain, their knees, maybe their ankles, their elbows, somewhere they're hurting.
That's foul.
But by the time they get to the ballpark, and you know, some guys will wake up and say, you know, I don't know if I can go today. Then by the time they get to the ballpark, you know, they eat and they get here, and they get on the field and they start to run around. And Adrenaline gets pumped up. The fans are here. Now they're ready to go. So most veteran players like Alex know when you wake up, that's not when you say, I'm not playing today. You wait till you get to the ballpark and see how you feel after you get going. That's what it takes in a day-to-day grind.
2-2.
The mind is really strong. You tell your mind, you know, hey, look, I'm in there. I'm going to play no matter what. Stay at it. They believe he's going to pull it.
Still 2-2. And he does pull it. Cano throws him out. 4-3, 2 down.
Pitchers that start against the Royals, they know that they're facing a very aggressive offense, and if they can attack the strike zone and throw quality strikes early in counts, they know they can get early outs. And that's what we've been seeing. Now, if the Royals, if the hits fall in, then you know the opponent's in trouble because they start frenzy hitting. But if they don't, they can get some early count outs, and that's what we're seeing.
One ball, one strike. Go back to July the 1st. Whit Merrifield has the most extra base hits in the American League, which includes 12 doubles. Showed you those numbers the other day. Whit in the month of July did something that only Mike Trout has done in the last 15 years, and that is have 18 or more extra base hits and 9 or more stolen bases in a month. Two balls, two strikes. Lifting the ball a little bit. He flied out to right field in the first inning. 8 of his last 11 outs have been in the air.
Yep. He's bottom hand dominant. Sometimes that bottom hand will get out there and the bat head will dip a little bit as the ball is crossing the plate, and he'll hit him to right.
Full count. And I think it's only human when you go to Camden Yards and you're just hitting the daylights out of the ball. How do you not think about lifting a little bit more with the dimensions in that ballpark?
No, you're right. It's a natural tendency.
That was down. Witt's upset. He knows that was ball 4.
Have 11 of his home runs, excuse me, he has 11, but I'm going to say about 4 or 5 of them have been to the opposite field, and that's why he likes to push that ball out there with his bottom hand. And at Camden Yards, it looked like he was trying to go that way.
That's a good stadium for hitting the ball to the gaps. This one right here is not, if you're trying to hit home runs. But there's a lot of doubles and triples in this ballpark if you're going to hit to the gaps.
2 of his 11 have gone to right field for the home runs, to be specific.
Shallow right field, and Gamble makes a shoestring catch. And the Royals have just an infield single in their first 3 innings against Giovanni Gallardo. coming up. Kyle Seager.
Change up, just elevated. Quick hands.
Good swing path too. He could have just as easily pulled that ball about 50 feet foul. So he is 5 out of 9 with 2 doubles and 2 home runs against Trevor Cahill. Is trying to find a way to get him out, so he starts him off with a curveball, and it's 0-1.
Lots of times that ball that's 2 or 3 inches on the inside part of the plate, that top hand will hook it just like you're talking about. It's that bottom hand though that keeps it from hooking. He stays through the ball.
I don't know if Seager just looks stunned after that swing, like he lost track of the ball when it was halfway to home plate.
What was that? Looked like he was swinging underwater. That's big league yacker. Big league curve.
Yeah, like he just woke up out of a nap and he happened to be standing at home plate. Where am I? What time is it? Where are we? Heads up.
Yeah,
just making sure you're paying attention to the game.
No way you don't flinch when that comes at you like that.
Curveball hit right to Alex in left field. That wind caught a hold of that ball, blowing in from left field. So Alex makes the play. It's a Gordo Nation night, so he gets a little extra ovation from the fans in the left field corner. Why were they all backwards?
I don't know.
They had the Gordo Big Head facing them instead of facing the field.
Huh.
Maybe it's just part of the routine out there that when Alex.
I never noticed a number before on the big head.
Is the that's what it is. The 10. You flash the 10 when he makes a play, because that would be how you would rate his defensive play on a scale of 1 to 10.
Well, that makes sense.
There's an Alex with some sunglasses on. Not blowing a bubble. They need to make one of those with Alex blowing a bubble.
Yeah, they do. Oh. That's good with the glasses. He's playing a solid left field. I'll give him a 10.
Valencia walked in the second inning and then ran the Mariners out of the inning. They had 2 on with 1 out, and he got caught in between second and third on a ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got caught in a rundown. Fastball fouled away. See if he uses a curveball right here. We were talking about Cahill and all the strikeouts he's had this year. He's averaging over 10 strikeouts per 9 innings, and he's had great success with his curve. It's a changeup. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And with that curveball, Trevor Cahill has been in the driver's seat, presented by Kia, with the league hitting 127 against his curveball. That's hit into the right field corner, slicing foul, and a home run.
How about that? Hit the pole. Didn't think it had the distance. Wind pushing that way a little bit helped him carry it. Thought it might be foul, but I was watching Valencia. He was
foul from here.
Yeah, he was running. He was running the whole way. A hitter usually will tell you if he thinks it's going to be fair or foul by if he runs or not.
He looked like. Yeah, I think that hit the railing to the right. He ran the bases. Valencia did, looking into the Royals dugout the whole time, expecting somebody to pop out. So this is a crew chief review. The Royals can request this. This goes back to the original replay rules. They will not be charged with a challenge. Yeah, look, I thought it hit the railing just with the way it shot back into the crowd.
Then I immediately.
But it was very close to the foul pole.
Yeah, I saw Chad Fairchild, first base umpire, going home run right away. Hard to see all the way down there without the. But let's check and see.
Yeah, that clearly landed on the railing, unless you're going to make a case that it hit the pole on the way down and then hit the railing. Yeah, that ball, the trajectory of that ball was straight down.
Yeah, so there's some metal railing right there.
Okay, so does it? Yeah, it looked like it hit the pole and then went straight down on top of the railing.
Oh.
Larry Vanover on the right is the crew chief. On the left, Chad Fairchild, the umpire who made the call. I don't know if you can prove that it hit the foul pole, but I think what the umpire in New York is doing right now is trying to prove that it did not hit the foul pole.
I didn't see it hit the yellow. I couldn't tell, but I saw it hit the railing though.
Yeah, watch. See how the ball kicks back to the right.
Yep.
And hits the railing.
Yep. That was a better angle there.
And it is a home run. So 2 solo home runs for the Mariners, Seager and Valencia, and the Mariners lead 2-0. Well, Ned's convinced that it was something else. Again, it's hard to. And Ned just got ejected. It is hard to prove one way or the other whether it hit the foul pole. The only thing you can prove is that it hit the railing, and the railing was in foul territory.
He said he's playing under protest, if I could read his lips, but
well, let's watch the home plate umpire. He will let us know if that's the case
by making a P sign, right? A little. Okay, no, wasn't it. Anyway, Ned let him have it. Gave the keys to Wakamatsu.
Dyson is 2 for 2. So 2 home runs into the right field corner for the Mariners. One just inside the foul pole, one at least ruled off the foul pole. And now Dyson's at first with one out for Guillermo Heredia. Melky backs up in right field and makes a play. Heredia is 0 for 2. The series resumes tomorrow night, and every Friday home game at Kauffman Stadium through August is Buck Night and summer fireworks. You can eat all of the hot dogs and peanuts you want for $1 a piece. That's Buck Night. And then summer fireworks after the game. Get your tickets at Royals.com or 1-800-6-ROYALS. Mike Zunino struck out in a changeup in the 3rd inning. Oh. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gene Segura stole 2nd and 3rd base against Cahill with 2 down in the 3rd inning. That gave Segura 15 stolen bases. Dyson has 24. Trouble with the changeup again, 1-2.
So you get guys that have the natural stealing ability like those guys you mentioned, Dyson and Segura, and they're on their own. In order to have a good success rate, you got to be able to get the jump you want instead of getting the steal sign from the 3rd baseman. Now, some managers will give you the don't go sign in certain situations, and that works. And that way, the base stealer, he'll just look into the manager. The manager will have his own certain sign. It says don't go on that.
That is Manny Acta, 3rd base coach, former big league manager with the Indians and the Nationals.
Yep. Good experience.
Dyson runs. The pitch is low, and the throw is offline. And Dyson looks in at Salvador Perez, who has a big smile on his face. It's interesting now with Salvi, an all-star, Gold Glove winner, Dyson, a veteran player, because there was a spring training game before Salvador Perez got to the big leagues, and Dyson at that time was known for his speed, and Salvador Perez threw him out by about 3 steps in a spring training game. And that's when the Royals became aware of what Salvi can do behind the plate, and now Dyson gets him at Kauffman Stadium here tonight. at Wrigley Field today. Another home run against Jose Quintana. First one almost hit the scoreboard. That one goes on the street. And then against Wade Davis, that breaks a tie in the top of the 9th inning. Arizona would go on to win 10-8 at the Cubs. Arizona is in second place in the National League West. They're 14 games behind the Dodgers and tied with Colorado for a wild card position in the National League. And the Royals will finish the regular season at Kauffman Stadium this year against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Both, we assume, will have a lot on the line in a 3-game series. Giovanni Gallardo has retired 9 of 10 to begin the game, and now Lorenzo Cain shoots one into center field. That's the Royals' second hit, and the first time they've had their leadoff man on base.
Good approach against Gallardo. He's trying to get in there early and throw first pitch strikes all night long. He's been successful, but this is what you do on a center cut fastball. Stay right up the middle. Let's square it up nicely right there. Put it, stay with it, hit it hard enough off the mound. Cano couldn't get it. See if they can get a little rally going here and get in this game.
Melky had the infield single in the first. Hit a little dribbler up the first base line, and Gallardo threw it away. Melky did not advance beyond first base. To right field, he didn't quite get it. Gamble makes the play. Cain is back to first with one out. Now Gallardo, he's trying to figure out who he's going to throw to if he gets a comebacker here with the overshift on Hosmer. Eric grounded out to Valencia at first in the first inning.
Yeah, and believe me, these guys, they're all talking to each other. They know exactly who's covering, where they're looking. While we're showing you shots of the hitter, those guys are talking back and forth to one another, always communicating in the infield. Outfield's a lot different, but you have a little bit. You still communicate. You look at each other. The corner outfielders want to move with the center fielder when he moves, so you're always looking and you're aware of your teammates' surroundings and where they are, who's going where. Have to.
And when you look at it from that angle, I mean, it's clear that it's going to be Segura, the cover man at second base. There's nobody near, but if he doesn't look and he gets a comebacker and he expects to see a shortstop and a second baseman up the middle, and there's only one guy,
yeah,
a little hesitation in trying to find your target could be the difference between 1 and 2 outs. Cain got a great break, and that throw goes into center field, and Lorenzo was deked by Segura. Segura had Lorenzo convinced that he caught that throw from Mike Zunino, so instead of going to third with one out, he stops at second.
And that's the job of the infielder. You can't tell. He looked back for any contact, but Locaine didn't see the ball in the outfield. Segura's holding it there, and that's all it takes is a split second, and he can't advance to third. That's a smart play. Middle infielders, they try to trick you all the time in there, especially if they know the base runner is not looking. That's too late.
And he didn't do anything wrong.
No.
I mean, you watch that. Pop up to the left side. Seager brings it down. That's a play that looks bad because the ball's rolling in center field, and everybody here, us included, everybody at home watching the game in their living room can see that the ball's in center field, but there's really nothing Lorenzo could have done differently.
Yeah, no, and he's already in scoring position. Okay, you got me.
Curveball for a strike to Salvi. He flied out to left field in the second inning. The Orioles held him to 1 hit in the 3-game series in Baltimore. Cano was playing up the middle, and that'll do it. The Royals get a leadoff single. They get Kane to second, but fail to score. Thoroughbred Ford. Every day there's a great deal waiting for you at Thoroughbred Ford. Very pleasant night. Feels like September the 3rd, not August the 3rd. 2-0 Seattle on home runs from Kyle Seager and Danny Valencia. And now the Mariners begin their 3rd time through the order against Trevor Cahill. Ben Gamel has grounded out twice, once to Cahill, once to Moustakas. Oh, 0-2. One and 2 on Gamel with Gene Segura and Robinson Cano coming up.
Good spot right there. That's where we wanted it. Keep it in. That's right on the edge.
Line to Witt.
Let's check out Cahill's breaking ball. Nice. 84 down and the movement. Straight down. Starts up at the top of the zone. That one was in the middle and was missed. And you can see the depth on that pitch, that why it's hard to get up underneath that. Beauty. Ball just falls right out. Bottom. Bottom falls out. Good spot.
Kane and Gordon coming together. Kane crouches down to avoid the collision. Segura is 0 for 3. And now Cano, who is lined to center and walked. Our sprint trivia question tonight: name the 4 second basemen to win the All-Star Game MVP award. Did Cano win it
Yes.
the year before the All-Star game here? He won the Home Run Derby the year before the All-Star game in 2012.
I don't know. I can't remember, but I know he won. How about Roberto Alomar? This is this year's All-Star game, right?
He
here.
was the was the MVP this year.
Right. Waiter.
And Roberto Alomar is correct. I will always remember the Home Run Derby because of his shenanigans here and the way he was greeted by Royals fans when he did not elect to include Billy Butler in the home run hitting contest in his own ballpark.
Yeah, that's easy to remember because we were all here. It was fun. But I've never seen in all the derbies that they've had, I've never seen a hitter not hit one home run.
Canofer is how it was referred to that night.
He won't forget it either.
There's Mike Minor warming up in the Royals bullpen. Line to center field. This one will drop in front of Kane. Cano is on with 2 down.
Similar to the line shot in the first time up tonight. He hit a really hard ball to 107. Exit velocity. Sinker, you see it going down, but he just went down and met it. Good head position. He stayed right down through the ball. One of the greatest hitters, left-handed hitters in baseball, no question. Cano. Doing it a long time now.
Nelson Cruz, 80 RBIs to lead the league, is grounded to third and grounded back to Cahill. Cahill got him with 2 on and 2 out in the 3rd inning on that comebacker. Right center field, slicing away from Kane. Cano goes to third. He'll be held there. So with 2 outs, back-to-back singles. And runners at the corners for Seager, who has already homered tonight. And here comes Don Wakamatsu. He is acting manager. Ned Yost was ejected in the 4th inning when a crew chief review went the Mariners' way and not the Royals' way. And so was Seager coming up and has outstanding career numbers against Cahill. The Royals will bring in the lefty Mike Minor. Up a couple of solo home runs and departs with 2 on and 2 out. Mike Minor on for the Royals. Here's a game break. And if you were raised to dislike the Yankees, you're not going to like them anymore tonight. They made 3 errors in the first inning at Cleveland. That was Sonny Gray's Yankees debut. The Indians scored 2 in the first inning, and they have already beaten the Yankees 5-1 in a 2-hour 28-minute game at Progressive Field. So right now the Royals are 3 games back. They need a win tonight to get back to 2.5.
Corey
Strike
Kluber
with a fastball.
Excuse me. Kluber, 3 hits, complete game.
Chevy called to the bullpen. Mike Minor. Inherits Cano at third. Cruz at first.
Minor's done a heck of a job. Hard fastball, mid-90s. Slider, change. Merrifield playing him to pull because that's what he does.
Center field into the crosswind, and Kane makes the play. So Minor gets the job done. The Mariners strand 2. They have stranded 6 in the first 5 innings.
Still on top, 2-0, bottom of the 5th inning. We'll take you back to July 3rd through the 5th. The Moose was loose up in Seattle. Good, easy swings. He was red hot. Didn't try to do too much, just put the bat on the ball. Good swing, combination of good, strong lower half and good hands.
He popped out to third in the 2nd inning tonight. One ball, 1 strike. Coincidence or otherwise, Mike Moustakas is 2 out of 19 since getting hit by Bruce Rondon in the final inning of the Tigers series on the road trip. Ned Yost, I asked him about that before the game tonight. He said coincidence. Just you can't keep up the pace that Moustakas had before he was hit on the leg. And at the same time, Ned wanted to get him off of his legs last night because that big bruise on his hip, the fluid was going down to his knee, and his knee was getting stiff. We saw pop up the other night in Baltimore where his heart wanted him to get to that pop up in front of the third base dugout, but his legs wouldn't cooperate.
Yeah, and it was good to see Torres in there, you know, and Torres did a good job on defense, and he was moving around a lot. That would have worked Moose. I'm glad that Ned let him have the day off. He'll take the walk there. And you know, Moose is 5th in the league in home run ratio, 1 every 12.7 times at the plate. So that's good for 5th in the league.
Leadoff man on for a second straight inning, and now Brandon Moss. Gallardo got him on a ground ball to second in the second inning. That ball will drop foul by a few feet. Moss should feel good every time he sees a Mariners uniform. He has more home runs and RBIs against Seattle than any other opponent in his career. And he saw quite a bit of the Mariners when he was playing for Oakland. 14 home runs, 34 driven in his career against Seattle. Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Royals so far have 2 singles and a walk against Gallardo in 4+ innings. Deep to right field. Brandon Moss has another home run and 2 more RBIs against the Seattle Mariners.
Big fly. I mean, that was a big fly home run. That was way out. It stayed up in the air a long time, and we got a new game. Curveball, center cut right there in the middle, saying, hit me out. Got up underneath it. Moss knew it, set the bat down, and that's a nice, fun trot. Easy trot. There you go. That's exactly what the Royals needed, was a big hit.
It had been since Saturday that the Royals hit a home run. They had gone 4 games without a home run. They had gone 46 innings without a home run. So 2-2. Nobody out in the 5th inning. 1-1 on Escobar. He grounded out to second in the 3rd inning. Don Wakamatsu filling in for Ned Yost, who was ejected in the top of the 4th inning tonight. Ejected for a 2nd straight game. Seager plays it to his glove side. That is out number 1. Coming up after the game on Saturday, it's Faith and Family Night here at Kauffman Stadium. The event will feature post-game appearances by members of the Royals and a concert by the band Newsboys. And your ticket to the game includes admission to the post-game program. Royals.com/faith for more information. Nobody on, 1 out, and Alex Gordon at the plate. Gallardo misses upstairs. Squibbed off the end of the bat. Mike Jershely hustles over to pick it up. The big head faces forward when he's at the plate and backward when he's in left field.
Okay.
Just in case you happen to watch a game from the corner, you want to know what the locals are doing.
Yeah, hey, and it's popular, and so is Alex.
Down and in, 3 balls, 1 strike. Seattle has hit 2 home runs. The Royals have hit 1 home run. So all the offense tonight by way of a home run, and nobody in the American League has given up more home runs than the Seattle Mariners. Only the Cincinnati Reds have given up more. That's hit hard but foul. Just by playing at Safeco Field, Seattle was usually at the bottom in home runs allowed every year, but over the past several years they've done some modifications to Safeco Field to make it a little more home run friendly. Still 3-2. Boy, Cincinnati Reds. Hard enough to have to pitch in that ballpark in the first place, but they have some frightening pitching numbers. Another foul ball. We were talking all week in Baltimore about how bad their starting rotation was before that series. And when the week began, the Cincinnati Reds starting rotation as a group had an ERA over 6. Segura, the shortstop, charges in from shallow right field and throws out Alex. So that's 6-3. 2 down.
You know,
Ouch.
yeah, that hurts, and that's. But you know what? It'd be tough to be a pitching coach in a ballpark like that. Look at Moss. He's all fired up now. Get those guys fired up. Nathan Carnes is there. You see Nathan.
Witt takes a strike from Gallardo. He has flied out to right twice tonight. The second fly out was a result of a good running play by Gamble coming in on a bloop, catching it right off of his shoe top. Hard slider away, 0-2.
Great spot.
Did he go? He did. And Gallardo strikes out his first. Mike Moustakas took a leadoff walk, and then Brandon Moss tied the game with a long home run to right field against Giovanni Gallardo.
There you go. You called for that.
Or a balloon.
Yeah,
That looks like a bubble.
Sure it does.
Our unlimited baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. We showed you the big game that Paul Goldschmidt had for the Diamondbacks against the Cubs. Well, Wilson Contreras for the Cubs against the Diamondbacks hit 2 home runs and drove in 6. Corey Kluber allowed just 3 hits in a complete game victory over the Yankees. And Nick Markakis, the Georgia native, got his 2000th career hit. We saw a lot of him with the Orioles back in Atlanta and getting that milestone. Danny Valencia walked in the 2nd inning and then homered into the right field corner in the 4th, which the Royals objected to. So they asked for and received a crew chief challenge, which was upheld in New York. Ned was none too happy about that, so he went out and argued with Larry Vanover, who threw him out. It was clear that the ball hit the railing in foul territory. That you could see without a doubt. What was unclear is what happened to the ball on its way down to the railing in foul territory.
That's the angle that right there that we're seeing, that you can see it look like it nicked the pole.
That is into the right field corner, which has been a profitable place for the Mariners tonight. Valencia thought about digging for 3. He'll stop at second with a leadoff double. So 2 home runs into the right field corner and now leadoff double into the right field corner.
Yeah, Valencia with a walk, homer, and a double. He's having a night. High fastball. He tried to pull the first one. Minor got it by him. Then he says you could tell Valencia gave in. Who's a good hitter, by the way. He's in that Mariners lineup playing first base because he can hit. He went with that pitch and was able to find some green.
Gerard Dyson, in his return to Kauffman Stadium, has single to right. He is single to center, and he has a stolen base. The Royals think he might put down a bunt. And he gets it down. Minor throws him out. Valencia goes to third. Dropping down a sacrifice bunt was never an issue for Dyson as a Royal, but consistently using the bunt for a base hit was something that he worked on every year he was with the Royals and never really became a bunt for a base hit threat like you'd hope for a guy with his speed.
Yeah, but you know what? He did the job there, and he always, like you said, he could get the bunt down when they needed him to, and that's the most important statistic, really. He never was a natural bunter from the very beginning. So it was,
where was that pitch?
Up for him, I'm not so sure. Like a good spot. Infield in.
Change up away, 2-0 on Heredia. He has struck out and flied to right. Mike Minor has struck out 57. He could use one right here. Fouled away 2-1. 57 strikeouts in 52 innings.
Nice. Royals weren't sure exactly what they were going to get out of him this year. You know, he missed a year with a shoulder injury, and they put him in the pen. They weren't sure exactly what. And man, they're very happy with the velocities. We're going from 94 to 97. Beautiful spot.
Which begs the question, where was the first one?
Looks like it's similar.
Another slider, or do you climb the ladder on a young hitter?
Probably could climb the ladder with He doesn't have a lot of power, so if you can pop him up in the infield, that would be good.
Minor wants to throw a curveball. And it is just foul. Salvi went through everything he had as an option there. He went slider, fastball away, fastball in, changeup, and then finally got to 2, the sign for a curveball, and that's what Minor wanted.
Well, the type of hitter that Heredia is, if you pitch the ball down low, he's a contact hitter. You're more likely to find a hole. See if he'll go upstairs and get him to pop it up. There they are again. Multiple fingers means breaking ball usually.
Just got a piece of it, and it also got a piece of Salvi. Yep. Got him on his left leg.
Knocked the dirt off the bottom of the cleat. Cleaned it for him.
Mike Moustakas is the designated walk over and talk to the pitcher.
Give him a little
he's not alone when the catcher or the umpire is shaken up by a foul ball.
Yeah, and I like that. I think it's good. You know, he's giving him some positive reinforcement. Come on, big out here. Let's go get the strikeout. That's what Moose is telling him.
Up the middle and a base hit into center field. So out over the plate. Heredia goes back through the middle. And Valencia's double turns into a run, and Seattle regains the lead.
Three straight breaking balls, and actually that had a little bit of cutting action. Looked like a fastball, and he went up with it, but Heredia was able to guide it right back up through the middle. Good swing. Dyson gets half of that run for the sac bunt.
Mike Zunino struck out twice against Cahill. So he has struck out 108 times in 251 at bats. He made contact. 0-1. Every time the Royals turn a double play, the next day McDouble sandwiches are $1 at participating McDonald's. It's all season long. So the snap throw back to first, and Heredia is back in standing.
Heredia just one steal, has been caught 4 times.
One and two. Two balls, 2 strikes. Casey Candell, the first base coach, keeps going over to Heredia, trying to help him read Mike Minor's move. One of the great characters in the game.
Yeah, a lot of fun. You see Casey, it brings a smile. We were teammates in Montreal for a little bit, played against him some. Scrappy, you know, not a real big guy, but big heart. Kind of out of the David Eckstein mold, if you remember him. And hard little scrappy ball player.
And today, hitters have shin guards and elbow pads and different batting gloves. And so they go to the first base coach when they reach and they say, here, hold this. And he's got a back pocket full of stuff. He's hanging on to another guy's shin guard. So there's a couple of shin guards in one hand. He's got someone else's shin guard in his back left pocket. He's got everyone coming over here. Casey, hold this. Okay, now here, hold this.
Yeah, but don't forget, he's got to have the stopwatch in his right hand. You got to have that. That's part of the job. Time the pitcher. Between when he comes set, he breaks his hands. Stopwatch on now. Ouch. To the pop. So 95. Salvi's getting beat up tonight. Heater right off the shoulder, just underneath the pad, and believe me, even when it hits that pad, that rock hurts.
He was on his way over to chat with Mike Minor again
to give Salvi a breather.
3-2.
I expect Heredia to go.
He was not, and it's a pop up to the left side. Escobar will bring it down. 2 outs. It is Gordo Nation here tonight. So those fans, for only $35, got a seat in left field close to Alex, a limited edition Charlie Husselbrand t-shirt, and that Alex Gordon big head. For tickets, go to Royals.com/theme tickets. The next Gordo Nation is the beginning of an important series for the Royals. August. Well, that's an off day. August 24th against the Colorado Rockies. The next Thursday here will be the Royals' next off day, putting an end to 20 games in 20 days. Escobar gets Gamble. He is 0 for 4. The Mariners add a run on Heredia's RBI single. 3-1 Seattle. Kane, Cabrera, and Hosmer are coming up in the bottom of the 6th. Against some starters with unimpressive numbers. Giovanni Gallardo, a 5.34 ERA before the game, and he's allowed 2 runs on only 3 hits in 5 innings. Gave up a 2-run home run to Brandon Moss in the 5th inning to tie the game. Seattle just regained the lead with a run in the top of the 6th. This is his 75th pitch, and a curveball is low to Kane. He is grounded out to short and singled. This is the 2nd time Kane has led off an inning.
This team, they get hot at the same time and they cool down and shut down at the same time. We know they're aggressive. They like to swing at the first 2 pitches, and if they're not getting hits, they're hitting into outs, and hard to get rallies going during their spell they're in.
The phone has rung in the right field bullpen, so we might see some activity behind Gallardo. And that pitch was called a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. Peggy Cudney from Liberty is our Sonic Slam inning contestant. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Peggy wins $900, a grand slam out of the park, and Peggy wins $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. A 4-pitch walk. Ball 3 was questionable. And this is the 3rd straight inning that the Royals have had their leadoff man on. It is the 2nd straight inning that it has been a leadoff walk. There's Mel Stottlemyre, the son of Mel Stottlemyre, who was a very good big league pitcher and was the Yankees pitching coach during their run in the late 90s. So there's his son, Mel Stottlemyre Jr., the Mariners pitching coach. The milkman.
That's great. Welcome. And the signing back says it. All right. Fans are wanting Melky to get a big hit.
So far, he has an infield single and a fly out to right field. Way inside, ball 1. Mark Zepchinski loosens up in the Mariners bullpen. After Melky, you have left-hand hitting Eric Hosmer. And then 2 batters after that, you have back-to-back lefties in Moustakas and Moss. And the way Zepchinski is going right now, he's probably getting ready for Moustakas. There have not been many strikes in the lower part of the strike zone tonight.
No, so if I'm a hitter, I'm not even touching anything down low. I'm not swinging. 2-0 now. Melky's looking to drive. Gap to gap hitter.
3-0, so he's missed with 7 straight.
So Royals now, 3rd time through the order, starting to be a little bit more selective against Gallardo.
Kane runs on 3-0. And he steals second base. And as he slid into second base, he kept his head cocked toward his right shoulder. If the ball was going to go into center field this time, he was going to see it.
Yeah, then Segura, he caught it. He turned and run to center like it was, like he did miss it. He knows he's trying to mess with him.
Back-to-back walks. 2 on, nobody out. Is Zepchinski warmed up enough here? That's what Scott Service and Mel Stottlemyre might be discussing, and they're going to go to the bullpen. So if Melky had gotten a base hit on the first pitch of his plate appearance, I'm not sure Zepchinski would have been ready to go. I mean, he was just starting to warm up, but because of the walk and with Hosmer coming up, Mariners make a pitching change. 2 on, nobody out. Here's Zepchinski to face Hosmer. Is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals. They may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler with Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery. Director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Brian Shapiro, associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman, Dean Andrick. And this is Mark Zepchinski in a Chevy call to the bullpen, who has made a career out of situations like this.
Sure has. Look at that first batter efficiency. Excellent. He's been able to hold those left-handed batters down. Just .216 average. 1 home run. Fastball 92. That's about tops. Slider curve change. Little difficult arm slot for left-handed hitters to pick up. Just to sink it. Oh, 2. That was a hanging slider there. Look at Hosmer and hitting lefties and righties. Extremely consistent. One of the best hitters in the American League. That breaking ball, he almost got to that. He was going to shoot that to left field. Just a tad behind it.
This matchup has favored Zepchinski over the years. On the ground to Cano, who tags Melky Cabrera and then out at first base.
Good heads-up play. Cano, when that ball brings you in, you come out, you're aggressive immediately. You see the runner, you're going to try to beat him. And Melky, I don't think he had enough time to stop and slow down to be able to not let him tag him, but Valencia is able to come off the base.
Ooh, it didn't look like he got him. And Hosmer's still standing at first. But the Royals will not challenge. So first and second, nobody out. Is a runner at third and 2 down. Outside to Salvador Perez. This year, the Mariners have had some bullpen issues. Our Rocket Arms brought to you by Quicken Loans. But the bullpen has improved very steadily during the season. April, bullpen ERA 5.8. And then 3.92 in May, 3.7 in June, 2.29 in July. The Mariners do have the most blown saves of any bullpen in the American League. Zepchinski is pitching Salvador Perez very carefully with a left-hand batter on deck. Mike Moustakas now. They're going to put Salvi on. The matchup, Hosmer and Zepchinski, favored Zepchinski, but the same cannot be said for Zepchinski against Mike Moustakas. He's had a bad time against Mike Moustakas, who is 6 out of 12. All 6 of those hits are singles. That's all the Royals need right here to tie the game. Scott Servais paces anxiously in his dugout, hoping that the Mariners can have a scoreless inning and working around 3 walks. Breaking ball is inside, ball 1.
Very nice numbers here with 2 outs. Moose doesn't try to juice the ball. Now he'll try to hit a homer sometimes, but this time right here he's been consistent. Tries to find a hole.
Up the middle, base hit center field. Mike Moustakas ties the game.
Exactly what he's been doing. That's why he's hitting over 300 in crucial situations this year. He's a veteran. He knows exactly. That's right. Get him on, get him over, get him in any way you can. There's the defenders. Why not just hit the little dribbler right up the middle there? Perfect job. Moose just trying to put it in play. Got the right pitch. Ties it up. That's right. Call him. Doesn't have to hit a home run to make a big impression. Just continue to move the line along.
And now another left-hand batter, Brandon Moss, who hit a 2-run home run against Gallardo in the 5th inning. Remember when we were in Boston and I made the comment with Merrifield on a pitch that was way outside, and he knew that's how they're going to pitch him in an RBI spot, and I said that reminded me of Edgar Martinez,
right,
who just knew how to get an RBI. He's the Mariners hitting coach. He's not in the dugout now. He's probably watching video as his team is on defense. He was the best that I've ever seen in that, not getting caught up in the moment and figuring out, okay, what is this pitcher going to do to me here? Mike Moustakas, 3-run home run would have been great, but it was like he went to the plate thinking, okay, let me look at the field, let me look at who I'm facing, let me look at the situation, and just guided it into center field to tie the game.
Yeah, oh, you're right. I had to defend Edgar for 3 years in that division out there with the Mariners, and every time I would take 2 steps to the left knowing he's going to hit the ball in the hole, he'd hit it just a little further past me. Great situational hitter.
One and 2 on Moss, who has only faced Zepchinski twice, and he's 0 for 2. His home run in the 5th inning was his 15th against Seattle. RBIs 35 and 36, most home runs and RBIs against any opponent in his career.
Got good numbers against lefties. reason is he's able to control that front shoulder. And he's confident. He sees the numbers and he goes, all right, lefty, I can hit lefties.
Little roller foul, still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brandon Moss was a tough out during the last homestand, and the Royals won the last 5 on the last homestand, scoring about 8 runs per game, and then drove in 1 during the road trip, and now here we are back at home again, and he has a home run and 2 driven in.
Great to be home.
Zunino blocks it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and now the Royals do not have speed on the bases with Perez at second and Moustakas at first, but they get the added advantage here of them getting an early break with 3 and 2 and 2 out.
And that's what they'll need. That's all you need to get an extra couple of steps for Salvi on a base hit. He can score. Dyson, we talked about him with 10 outfield assists. He's got a good arm. Gamble with 2 in right. Heredia has 3 in center.
Foul tip and a strikeout. The Royals take advantage of 3 walks, and then Moustakas drives in Kane to tie the game at 3. Well, it hasn't been a big night on offense for the Royals, but with hardly any, if any, big hits in the 3-game series in Baltimore, they've gotten 2 tonight. Brandon Moss with a 2-run home run to tie the game, and then Mike Moustakas with 2 down, a single to tie the game a second time. And now the Royals, in 6 innings tonight, have scored as many runs as they did in 3 games in Baltimore. So that will release some of the pressure. Mike Minor will get Segura, Cano, and Cruz. Minor got the last out of the 5th inning in relief of Cahill, and then he allowed a run in the 6th. Two balls and 1 strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Segura's had a nice year for Seattle. He has been on the disabled list twice, and yet they liked what they saw very early in the season, and they gave him a 5-year contract extension in June. It's his first year with the Mariners. He was traded over from the Diamondbacks after leading the National League in hits. So his spring training and a little over 2 months of the regular season, and Seattle said, we've got our shortstop.
Good for him. He's aggressive.
Maybe a little too aggressive, and he is. Mike Minor strikes out his first, 1 down in the 7th inning. Any more thoughts on our sprint trivia question? 4 second basemen have won the All-Star Game MVP. That's one of them, Robinson Cano this year.
How about Joe Morgan?
That's 3.
How
Who was our other one?
Cano, Alomar.
And Roberto Alomar.
How about Ryan Sandberg?
1990. That would have been a good guess. Ryan Sandberg in 1990.
Yep.
Cano is 1 for 3 tonight with a walk. Jeff Kent.
Good try. I was playing the National League. I remember Sandberg. What league? Oh.
Julio Franco. Dave Holtzman
Good
just
job.
gave us a left-handed Julio Franco.
He did, but
stance.
yeah, good job. We got him.
There you have it. Peter Moylan will come on and face Nelson Cruz with 2 down in the 7th inning. Ideal scenarios for certain relievers, and Mike Minor is someone he's not afraid to bring in the middle of the inning. Minor did that tonight, and the same with Peter Moylan, who comes on with 2 outs, nobody on. A 0.76 ERA in his last 30 games, and Nelson Cruz just thumbs one up the right field line. How about that right field corner for the Mariners tonight? Cruz, when we were in Seattle, he had never faced Peter Moylan before, and it showed in that at bat. Peter made him look bad. So Cruz wasn't going to take any strikes this time around. First thing close, he's swinging and he doubles. So Pete's going to throw 1 pitch tonight.
Well, he knew that Moylan likes to start guys with sinker in to set up the slider, and so Cruz was ready for it.
Ryan Buckner will make his Kauffman Stadium debut with a runner at second and 2 down.
Ryan Buckner is set to make his Royals home debut. Joel Goldberg here at the K, and for the new guys like Buckner and Mauer, that meant arriving last night in Kansas City as Royals for the first time since the trade. Buckner telling me today, guys, he had never been in this stadium before in his life, and Mauer got in last night and went to the hotel with his other teammates that had been traded over and found himself walking in with the Mariners, who were staying at the same hotel, his former teammates. So a little strange, but they're ready to settle in.
Both were very excited about being here in front of the home crowd, and we have a nice crowd tonight. And with one pitch, Ryan gets the job done. He gets Kyle Seager to ground out to second base. The Mariners strand Cruz at second base. Stretch time at Kauffman Stadium in a 3-3 tie. One pitch and gets the Royals out of the top of the 7th inning. You can get closer to the action at Kauffman Stadium with our Royals Memories program. You can choose amongst a variety of unique opportunities, such as a photo on the field, watching batting practice, and delivering the game ball. All experiences are available for purchase each game exclusively through the MLB.com ballpark app. This is Emilio Pagan, appearing for the 11th time.
Good numbers for the short amount of time he's been in there. Opponents not doing much off him. Under 200 average. Strikeouts. He's doing it. Low to mid-90s fastball slider.
Escobar jumps on the first pitch and pulls it foul. He is grounded out to second and grounded out to third. The Royals did not see Pagan when they were in Seattle in July, and the only Royal who has faced him is Melky Cabrera, and he did that with the White Sox. Up the middle, base hit center field, and for the 4th consecutive inning, the Royals have their leadoff man on. That leadoff man came around to score in the previous 2 innings. Escobar's 1 for 3.
Two-seam fastball didn't sink, right in the middle. Good short compact swing. That's what you do to start it off. Fan out there in the stands today, she wrote it right. Get him on, get him over, get him in.
Alex is grounded to second and grounded to short, but it was a ground ball to the right side. He's going to bunt. So Alex gets the go-ahead run into scoring position. So you start asking yourself right away, when was the last time Alex Gordon had a sacrifice bunt? Well, that's his second this year and just the 7th of his career. And keep in mind, this is year number 11 for Alex Gordon.
Nice form right there. He's had it covered. He's able to see the ball down. He didn't try to run before he got the ball on the ground. That's nice. Now, if he was interested in a base hit, he would have went the other way to third base. All he wanted to do there, get him over. All we're missing now is get him in.
Whit Merrifield has slid to right twice and struck out. That was against the starter Giovanni Gallardo.
Look at that 319 average with runners in scoring position. Right man to get him in. Whitley, he'll hit the ball wherever it's pitched. Fastball slider from Pagan.
Chopped to third. Seager bare hands and dropped by Valencia. I think he would have been out. It is an error on Danny Valencia.
Whitley can get those infield hits with the best of them. Seager, speaking of the best of them, makes that play along with them. And Valencia just couldn't quite get his glove hand extended out there. And Whitley will tell you it doesn't matter. We've got less than 2 outs, a runner at third base, and the meat of our order coming up. Time to get him in.
Royals turned some errors into some big innings on the last road trip. Inside, ball 1.
Lorenzo been clutch, 7th inning or later. Check it out. Numbers don't lie. 310, 3 homers, 11 ribbies. Lousy single would do. Stay inside the ball. Got him a nice base hit earlier up the middle. Maybe get up underneath one.
Kane singled leading off the 4th inning, stole second base. He walked leading off the 6th inning, stole second base, and scored the tying run on a base hit from Moustakas. Now he's trying to drive in Escobar to put the Royals in front. Grounded to third and foul. So the Royals are fortunate that that was a foul ball, as Pagan got Lorenzo to make contact on a half swing.
Nice slider away. Told me Lorenzo was in a little bit of pull mode right there. With that second base hole wide open, Cano, he's favoring the pull side for Lorenzo.
Called strike, and it's 1-2.
Valencia holding on Merrifield over there. There's plenty of lane right here. Lorenzo, he knows how to do that, especially now with 2 strikes on him. Sometimes the hitter will shorten up, look around a little bit.
Trying to keep Whit close. Royals would love to take 90 feet right here on Pagan and eliminate the chance for a ground ball double play. Pagan looks like he's pretty quick to the plate.
Very quick. So there's no need to run. They're counting on Locane here. Using Whitley Merrifield's bat, by the way, number 15. You see it on the label.
Not running. Kane, right field. And down for a base hit. The Royals take the lead for the first time tonight. Kane drives in Escobar.
There it is. He wanted to hit that hole. He saw it off the end of the bat. And that is a low Kane triangle hit. Do what you can do to be able to pick up the ribby. That's all you want to do. Lorenzo Kane hitting second in the order. Beautiful swing. 94 elevation was not the right pitch for Pagan. Look at that. Just short, brief. He didn't try to pull that. He wanted to dump that out there in the low Kane triangle the worst way, and he did.
Two on, one out. Fouled away by Melky. He has an infield single and a walk. And he's the only one who has seen Pagan before tonight. Just one at bat. So the hitter will take some comfort in knowing that they have faced a pitcher before. Down and away, ball one. This is the fourth consecutive inning that the Royals put their leadoff man on, and that leadoff man has scored in each of the last 3 innings. Royals have scored more runs tonight than they did in 3 games at Baltimore. Got to chase one down and out of the strike zone. The Milk men and women and kids are here tonight. Melky, by the way, with the White Sox this year, hit .370 here at Kauffman Stadium. Base hit left field. Merrifield's around third. Heredia's throw is cut off. Kane is tagged out by Cano. You know, sometimes, Hud, sometimes you look at a play like that and you go, man, why did he run into an out? But that looked like a good throw. If Seager lets that ball go to home plate, I think that's going to be a close play at the plate. I agree. But Kane rounding second, Seager cut it off to take that out.
Yeah, Heredia scouting report says he has a great defensive play and also a strong arm. Look at that swing. Very nice. Again, another Royals hitter, back-to-back hitters, not trying to do too much, just trying to put the ball in play. That was a perfect throw.
Good throw.
Yeah, that's a one-hopper. You could see Zunino, the catcher, just sitting there waiting for the one-hopper. Would have been close. You're right. Locane did what his instincts told him to do. That's okay. Aggressive running mistake. It's not going to hurt him.
And that's the goal on a play like that. Force the cutoff man to take a sure out rather than risk a play at the plate. But that looked like a really, really good throw.
Yeah, you know, 4 runs, that's been a magic number for the Royals for most of the season. When they score 4 more runs, they're 44-11. As good as the bullpen's been able to hold them. Penn's done a nice job tonight.
So the Milkmen delivered.
Be sure
or something like that.
Yeah, he has, and they have too. Nice inspiration and good costumes. Beautiful swing, though. That's a professional hit. That's one of the reasons why they got him.
Down in the count. Looked bad on the swing before.
Oh, he looked, first 2 swings, he didn't look good.
3-0 on Hosmer.
Haas has never faced Pagan. I'm giving him the green light, though, just on his merit.
1 run is earned, 1 run is unearned, thanks to the error by Valencia. Swinging 3-0. And he got a pretty good swing on it.
Sure did.
Inning over. Leadoff single. An error. And the Royals take advantage. They turn it into 2. Kane drives in 1. And the Milkman drives in the other.
Get him on, get him over, get him in.
In the bottom of the 7th inning, so 6 outs to go on defense for the Royals to take game 1 from Seattle. Royals fidget spinners are the newest item at the Royals team store. These exclusive Royals licensed fidget spinners feature a design with all 3 hot dogs from the hot dog derby race: ketchup, mustard, and relish. And they're only available at the ballpark, so drop by when you're here at Kauffman Stadium. Soria in the 8th in a 2-run game. It'll be Valencia, Dyson, and Heredia.
Left-handers hitting .278. It's only given up 1 home run this year. Fastball, slider, curve, change, split finger. He's got 5.
Squibbed off the end of the bat. 1 down in the 8th inning. Cahill went 4 2/3. Gave up 2 runs. Mike Minor went 2 innings, allowed 1 run. Moylan faced 1 batter. Ryan Buckner threw 1 pitch. And if the Royals can hang on to this lead, Ryan Buckner could get his first win as a Royal by throwing 1 pitch.
Great. Just hope they get the W.
Gerard Dyson has 2 singles and a sacrifice bunt tonight.
He was choking up on the bat last season a little bit. He's even higher on the bat this year. Gives him control better. That's his style. You know, it's his style of hitting. He's got 5 home runs now. He's got some pop and he's got more at bats. Seeing him in Seattle, I said, "Hey, look, man, we'd like to have you back." And he goes, "I'm happy here because I'm getting playing time. I get to play."
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Good spot there. There's Edgar.
He had a great career with Seattle Mariners. 6 100 RBI seasons. 2 down in the 8th inning.
Excellent changeup, good spot. Soria keeping the ball down. Look at how that ball just sunk down in there. Oh, that's a split finger. That's the one that goes way down. Good finish on it. That's the pitch that they beat him on too. He hung it last time in Baltimore when they had that walk-off win. That's how he wants to finish that pitch. Good slider there. Vanover's not giving that call all night.
Heredia put Seattle in front with an RBI single against Minor in the 6th inning. The Royals tied it in the bottom of the 6th and took the lead with 2 in the 7th. Melky Cabrera up against the side wall.
Yeah, great timing by Melky. Way to help out Joaquin Soria. Look at the timing here. That was special. Skills.
In the bottom of the 7th inning, and then put a close to the top of the 8th with a play up against the side wall in right field. Emilio Pagan stays on for the bottom of the 8th. He allowed the 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th, 1 unearned. He'll get Perez, Moustakas, and Moss. Salvi almost got hit on the ribs. 1-0. Cleveland has won. They beat the Yankees earlier tonight 5-1. Both the Royals and the Indians, remember, they had those long winning streaks at about the same time. The Royals had a 9-game winning streak when that ended. Cleveland won that night, extending their winning streak to 9 games. Heredia waits in left field and brings it down. And when the Royals' 9-game winning streak came to an end, they lost 4 of 5. When Cleveland's 9-game winning streak came to an end, they lost 3 in a row. So that happens.
Yep, exactly.
Pretty common to see a win streak turn into a losing streak.
Every year it happens.
But now Cleveland's won, and the Royals need to win to get back to 2.5.
That's right. Hold tight. Pin to win.
Inside to Mike Moustakas. He tied the game with 2 outs in the 6th inning. He singled to center field against lefty Mark Zepchinski. And now he is 7 out of 13 against Zepchinski. Seager, the third baseman, makes a play in foul territory. 2 down. Brandon Moss hit a 2-run home run in the 5th. The Mariners got 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th. Moss tied it with his home run. Seattle got a run in the 6th. The Royals tied it in the bottom of the 6th and then took the lead in the 7th. Into the right field corner. Moss has 2 tonight. And we told you early on that he has more home runs and RBIs against the Mariners than any other team he's played against.
13th and 14th home runs on the season for Moss. And you know, he didn't even get it all. He hit this off the end of the bat. Oregon got a little jammed in on him. He didn't barrel it completely, but got up underneath it enough to get it over that wall. It's more insurance.
Escobar had never faced Pagan when he came to the plate in the 7th inning, and he singled to get that 2-run rally started. Kelvin Herrera has a 3-run lead, and Herrera will get the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the top of the 9th. The Royals have scored in 4 straight innings. One and 2. Line to left, and Heredia is there. Kelvin Herrera goes for the save. The Royals have a 3-run lead to the 9th inning. Further, so you can. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less. 6-3 Royals to the top of the 9th inning. Let's go down to Joel.
Well, double the run production tonight as they had in the whole Baltimore series. And when this one wraps up, Jeff Montgomery and I will be breaking it down on Boulevard Royals Live. Nothing like the K. Home sweet home as the Royals back and getting the bats back. And Moss mashing here at the K, called a multi-Moss night. That, Ned Yost, will get you ready for tomorrow and much more coming up on Boulevard Royals Live.
Thank you, Joel. Kelvin Herrera's going for his 24th save. This is Leonis Martin batting for Mike Zunino. Zunino has big strikeouts, so Scott Service trying to get somebody who can get an inning started, and going with Martin, who was recently recalled from the minor leagues. Herrera's 23 out of 26 in save opportunities this year.
Big fastball. You can look for that and then try to adjust to the other pitches. This above average changeup at 88, 89, and he's locating it. It's tough to hit. Down and away to lefties. Occasional sliders.
A little tardy.
Slightly.
Martin, Gamble, Segura. If the Mariners get base runners, now you're talking about Cano and Cruz. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Hope they don't want to get down that far, that's for sure. Don't get down there, those power guys.
Either one of those 2 big bats have really done anything against Herrera. 1 down.
Hard to hit that high cheese. That's just almost impossible to square it up and put it in play that high up at the strike zone. Power. Closers, most of them have the power because managers like strikeouts.
Ben Gamble is 0 for 4. And he's laid on a fastball at 98. Again, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gamble.
Yeah, 98 on the hands.
Two and 2. Herrera's pitching for the first time since Sunday in that Royals come from behind win at Fenway Park. Got into a jam, loaded the bases, but was able to pitch out of that. Retiring Mookie Betts with the bases loaded to end the game.
Oh man.
Moustakas down to a knee with a backhand. 2 down in the 9th inning. $29,228 to kick off this 6-game homestand. And the Royals are 1 out away from their 6th consecutive win at home. Brandon Moss has hit 2 home runs, and the Royals have scored twice as many runs tonight as they did in the Baltimore series. So it was a brief hitting slump. It was worth wondering how long the Royals would struggle offensively after they were scoreless in the first 4 innings tonight against Giovanni Gallardo. But Brandon Moss, that 2-run home run in the 5th inning, I think loosened the guys up.
No question about it.
2-0 on Segura.
They were waiting for the big hit. That Mariners fan looks nice, but that scowl tells it all.
He does?
Well, I like his outfit. He's a huge fan, obviously.
Would you wear that?
No, I wouldn't. But he's obviously put some thought into that.
Yeah, he's not happy.
With him. With him.
A 4-pitch walk to Segura. So you got the big bats coming up. Robinson Cano. He is 1 for 5 against Herrera. If he gets on, Nelson Cruz, who has driven in 80, would represent the tying run, but Cruz is 0 for 6 against Herrera. So the two big Seattle bats are a combined 1 for 11 against Kelvin Herrera. The Royals will allow Segura to take second base, so no stolen base. Runner at second with 2 down, and strike 1 on Cano. So there you go, 1 for 5 with a strikeout. It is much worse for Cruz, 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. But you never know. Those two guys are dangerous.
Right. I want to get to him.
Changeup. Cano almost looked like he glanced out at Herrera to say, really?
He had his fastball swing, and Herrera had his fastball arm speed, but he pulled the string and he won.
Good spot. See if he'll chase that one. There is climbing the ladder and there is descending on the ladder. You chase that changeup. Okay, let's see if he'll chase this one. Moustakas got a glove on it. A run will score. It is 6-4, and Cruz is going to get a shot against Herrera in the 9th inning. RBI single for Cano. That's his second hit of the game.
Moose almost kept it in the webbing. Good level swing now. Cano wasn't trying to do anything more than just to put the bat on the ball, and he did. Good try.
So if you're the Mariners, all you want is a chance. Those are not good numbers for their side. 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts, but the man at the plate has 22 home runs and 80 RBIs, and Herrera goes with the first pitch changeup, thinking that Cruz might cheat on his fastball.
Sure, you know, you have to. A guy that throws a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, you're going to kind of wind up a little bit with either your lower half or your upper half, and you're going to try to gear up quicker so you can get the bat head there. So you're going to cheat. Makes you susceptible to breaking pitches and changeups down, but keep it away. Just like that. He's going to turn that upper body, and he's going to get it ready. You have to. He's in his 10th season. He's seen a lot of pitchers like this throw hard. He knows not to swing 100%. He swings about 80%.
Out in front of the mound, Herrera wants it. Long underhand toss. Yeah. How does a guy who throws 100 miles an hour go underhand for 45 feet? Well, whatever works.
I don't know, but it's their home sweet home. El Toro! Away! There you go, Mossy. The Moss bombs. Those are great hits. It woke up the offense. Very nice. Moss mash is what Joel's calling it. I like that. Masher.
And Joel will try and get Brandon when he's done congratulating his teammates. Casey hangs up a W, and that's 6 straight at home for the Royals. Royals are back to 5 games above 500, and they remain 2.5 games back of the Indians, who won earlier tonight against the Yankees. And now with that win, the Royals are 4-0 against Seattle this year, so they have clinched the season series for the 7th time in the last 10 years. And while Joel waits for Brandon Moss, let's show you why Brandon will be Joel's guest. A 2-run home run that tied the game in the 5th inning.
Sure is nice. And he comes down through that ball and gets a little bit of an uppercut, just a slight uppercut. He's got power. There's no ballpark that can contain him.
Down to Joel.
All right, we are discussing whether Salvador Perez will make his way out here on a cold night. Brandon says no. Salvi might say 1 for each homer. We'll see what happens. But I want to ask you about the first homer, because it appeared like maybe that loosened up the team, took some pressure off after a rough few games.
I mean, you know, you got to give credit to Giovanni. He was throwing a good game. That was just a hanging curveball, and it was an account where I was expecting some off speed. It's going to be so cold. It's good.
Hold on. It's a lot of ice.
Yeah.
Anyway, Giovanni was throwing a good game, but you gave your team some life.
He did. He ended up throwing a really good game. You know, he kept us off balance, and he had that cutter working, but that was just a hanging breaking ball that and you know, count that I thought off speed might be coming, and I sat back on it. But yeah, it gave us some life, and then we ended up having some really good at bats there late in the game, which we've been doing a lot lately. You know, we've been getting things going late in the game and having some exciting wins, and this was another one.
You guys have been hot all at once together, cold all at once, but we're getting later in the year too. How important tonight was it just to get that offense rolling after really what was a good road trip but a frustrating few days?
Yeah, I was going to say it was a good road trip. It's just a bad last 3 days. You know, we just didn't hit the ball that great. Those games happen. Sometimes you go out and you just don't get the hits, and that's what happened. So, you know, move on. We're at home. We were excited to be home. The weather was amazing. The crowd was amazing. It was a good night, and we ended up having a good ball game.
Last thing regarding that being home, you've had the chance now to play here at home all year long. Melky Cabrera makes his return. Ryan Buckner on 1 pitch in his debut here gets his first win. Mauer's here with the team. How good to be back at this place and share that with them.
Absolutely. And, you know, like you said, Melky came out. He had a great game. So a big knock right there. You know, ended up being what was the game-winning RBI. You know, just he came out and had a great game, made a great catch there. And, you know, you never know if he doesn't catch that ball, how that inning might turn out. Anything can happen. So, you know, obviously he's been contributing. We didn't get any wins in Baltimore, but he had some hits and, you know, came out tonight and got us going a little bit. And like you said, the new guys throwing in the bullpen. It's nice to have those guys back there.
Great job tonight. Go dry off.
Thanks.
Brandon Moss, and he has been some kind of hot here at Kauffman Stadium. Guys, back up to you.
Yeah, as in 4 home runs and 12 RBIs in his last 12 at Kauffman Stadium. Even this can't really cool him off.